Good evening, boys and girls. Welcome to Nighttime Nonfiction on Thursday nights. So tonight we have another story of Who Would Win. And tonight we're going to do Falcon versus Hawk. And this is by Jerry Pallotta and illustrated by Rob Bolster. So I'm going to read the book to you and then remember flip grid. And I'll give you that code when we're done. So who would win Falcon versus Hawk? What would happen if a falcon met up with a hawk? What if they had a fight? Who do you think would win? Hello, falcons. Falcons, hawks, owls, kites, and eagles are raptors. Raptors are animals that kill other animals and eat them. There are several species of falcons, and here's all the different ones. All birds have feathers and they have wings. And the falcons are also called birds of prey. They catch their dinner and they eat meat. Hello, hawks. And here's a whole bunch of different kinds of hawks. Here's an osprey, which is a hawk. And I did not know that. I thought an osprey was part of the eagle family. And they're also called a sea hawk. But hawks are also raptors and birds of prey. Some birds eat seeds and some birds eat fruit. Hawks eat meat. And again, here are several different kinds of hawks. This is the red-tailed hawk. This is the one that we see a lot here in Florida. And also the Cooper's hawk. So meet the falcon. Here is the peregrine falcon. It is the fastest animal on earth. And you may have thought the cheetah was fast, but look at this. This bird is built for speed. It can dive at more than 200 miles per hour. That's like over at Daytona Speedway. It's the fastest animal on earth when diving. The cheetah can run up to 70 miles an hour. A sailfish can swim up to 90 miles an hour. And the fastest Olympic sprinters, they can run up to 27 miles an hour, which is very fast for a person. But the falcon can go 200 miles an hour. So meet the hawk. Here's the red-tailed hawk. To see a red-tailed hawk, look in high, bare branches along a road. The hawks want to be able to see in all directions. They are constantly looking to avoid predators and to catch prey. I don't know, sometimes I see them up on telephone poles and on the wires. When hawks see an animal on the ground, they swoop down and try to catch it with their talons. The talons are their long, sharp, curved, like fingernail type things. Air. Falcons look for birds to capture and eat. The falcon attacks in the air at high speeds, beak first, and then catches the prey with its claws. It eats various prey, including smaller, slower, and weaker birds. A group of birds is called a flock. The falcon often builds its nest in a crevice high up in a cliff so it keeps it safe, away from predators. And then ground. Hawks attack from the air to the ground feet first. They grab and stab prey with their long, sharp talons. The red-tailed hawk usually builds its nest high in the crown of a tree, so very high in the top part of a tree. Hawks look for mice, rats, voles, moles, frogs, lizards, and other small animals to eat, like these. And if you have a small dog, be careful too. Okay, largest. The largest living bird is the ostrich. It stands up to 9 feet tall, but it's flightless. It can't fly. The largest extinct bird is the elephant bird. Scientists believe it stood up to 10 feet tall and weighed up to 1,000 pounds. The tallest extinct bird is the moa, and it stood up to 12 feet tall. The largest flying seabird is the wandering albatross. Its 12-foot wingspan is longer than any living flying bird. So the wingspan is from wing to wing. Now the smallest living bird is the bee hummingbird. It is the size of a large bee. So this is a hummingbird. It's the size of a bee. That's really tiny. The smallest bird has the smallest egg, which is smaller than a single little coffee bean. That's really tiny. So here's a chicken egg. And then this is an ostrich egg. That's huge. How wings work. The shape of an airplane wing and the shape of a bird's wing are similar. Air flows over the top of the wing faster than air flows across the bottom. This creates lift. Lift allows planes and birds to take flight. So you have your low pressure and then high pressure, and it pushes it up. Penguins are birds that do not fly in the sky, but if you watch them swim in the ocean, they seem like they're flying underwater. Another way to create lift is to adjust the front of the wing upward, and this causes drag on the back end. So when they tilt their wings, it can help them guide, and then it drags some airflow. Eyes. Falcons have excellent eyesight. Like most birds of prey, they have better vision than a human being. But did you know that they cannot move their eyes? That's interesting. They can see tiny animals from about 1 mile away. That's pretty far. In the sky, a falcon can see other birds before they see it. Hawks also have great eyesight. Hawks see little animals on the ground that humans could never see without binoculars. And did you know a hawk also can't move its eyes the way that we do? A hawk moves its entire head to follow what it wants to see. So it can't just move its eyes around, it has to move its head to be able to see. That's interesting. Beak. The falcon's greatest weapons are its speed and its beak. Its beak is pointed and sharp, but also has a tooth-shaped edge. So its hook here on its beak is what it uses to tear the flesh of the animal that it's going to eat. And some birds have special beaks for cracking seeds, sipping nectar, and catching insects. And then this is a bill. The hawk has a sharp beak that's designed to tear and rip skin and meat, just like the falcon. And all birds have beaks. So talons. The falcon's talon can be almost 1 inch long. So the talon, remember, is like the fingernail part, so it's about 1 inch long. That's pretty long. And then it's curved and very sharp, just kind of like a T-Rex also. And then the hawk's talon can measure up to 1.3 inches long. So the hawk's talon is a little bit longer. See, their feet look the same, but the hawk's talons are a little bit longer. Speed. The falcon flies up to 60 miles per hour, but it can dive at more than 200 miles an hour, which we said earlier. The falcon can dive from up to 0.62 miles in the air. So that means it can be just a little over half a mile up and go 200 miles an hour straight down. That'd be a little scary. Quickness. The red-tailed hawk flies about 20 to 40 miles per hour, but can reach a speed of up to 120 miles an hour when it is diving down for food. The tails. An arrow, an airplane, and a jet can't fly without a tail. A falcon also needs its tail to fly. The tail holds steady or stabilizes its flight, so it kind of helps guide where it's going to go. And then the hawk also has a tail, and its tail movement helps it turn left, turn right, dive, or rise. So here we have the different tails. Wings. A falcon's wings are thin and slender. They are built for maximum speed. And the hawk's wings are wider, so you can see the difference here. And its broad wings help it maneuver through the trees to grab mice, squirrels, frogs, and other small animals. Hawks have shorter, wider wings than falcons. Say that 3 times fast. Now, their weight. An adult female falcon weighs about 3.3 pounds, and a male is about 2.2 pounds, so the female is bigger. And then for the hawk, the female hawk weighs 3.2 pounds, so about the same as the female falcon. and the male is 2.8 pounds. So it's a little bit bigger than the male falcon, but it's still smaller than the female. So the females are bigger for both of them. All right, famous falcons. We shouldn't be surprised that the U.S. military named one of its best fighter jets after the falcon. It attacks from the air like the bird. It also can quickly change its speed and direction and go fast straight down. And there are sports teams named after falcons. The NFL has a team called the Atlanta Falcons. And then the Hawks, there's an NFL team, the Seattle Seahawks, plays football. And the Atlanta Hawks is a basketball team. And the U.S. military has a helicopter called a Black Hawk. The red-tailed hawk is sitting at the top of a dead tree looking for mice. Its position is called a perch. The bigger hawk does not see the smaller falcon 1,000 feet above her. The red-tailed hawk starts to fly. It is concentrating on looking for food. Maybe there's a tasty baby squirrel down there somewhere. And the hawk never looks up. So here's the hawk. The falcon sets its eyes on the hawk. It has laser-like focus. It gets in its stoop position and is flying like a rocket. It brings its wings down behind and straight down, remember, at 200 miles an hour. The hawk doesn't know what hit it. Wham! The falcon slices the hawk and breaks one of its wing bones. As the hawk tries to correct its flight, the falcon makes another dive. It's a direct hit. Wham! Again! The red-tailed hawk is falling uncontrollably. It won't recover. It crashes to the ground, badly wounded. After a brief fight on the ground, the falcon eats the hawk and brings some of the meat back to its hungry chicks waiting in the nest. The falcon wins. Didn't seem like it was much of a fight to begin with. It kind of snuck up on the hawk. So who has the advantage checklist? So again, here's the checklist. If you win this book, you can check off for speed, eyesight, wing design, talons, weight, beak, altitude, and attitude is one of them there. So we know that their speed and their speed, wing sight, speed and eyesight and wing design is all very similar. But because the falcon can soar much higher, it has a little bit of an advantage. So please remember that you can take reading counts. It's 3 reading counts points. And if you do Flipgrid, which here is the code for Flipgrid, Mr. Tidmarsh will respond and your name will be put in for the drawing to win this book. The Falcon versus the Hawk. Good night.